All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I'm going to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakadash, double honor to the apostles and elders at Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the hopeful elect out here spreading this gospel in sincerity and truth throughout the four corners of the earth. Shalom. And I just ran across this article of Donald Trump basically making a vow about if he becomes president again, that he won't allow digital currency to continue. This article says Donald Trump vows to never allow central bank digital currencies if he is elected. And I feel like a lot of people, they know about the plans of the elites, because they're not even hiding it at this point. They basically letting you know what they're going to do. And I feel like a lot of people don't agree with where digital currency is headed. A lot of people know that this money is going to be programmable. They know that basically the government is going to have control over all your assets, everything that you own, as well as the money that you have. You know what I'm saying? So they're going to have complete control over you. And I feel like a lot of people don't agree with that. They don't want that. And they don't agree with the direction that this digital currency is going. So when Trump is coming out and he's saying that if I become president again, that I never allow central bank digital currency if I'm elected, then a lot of people are basically going to be riding with him. A lot of people are basically going to be on his side because people are all about their freedom. They want freedom. They want liberty to be able to do what they want to do, make their own purchases without being investigated, without being watched, So a lot of people are going to ride with Trump on this. A lot of people are going to be for him being president again, in this next election. But I don't feel like Trump is going to get elected. I don't feel like he's going to get elected as president, and that's just me speaking. I don't know what's going to happen. We're going to have to wait and see, but I don't think he's going to get elected as president. And I feel like that's going to be for a reason. I feel like it's going to be to cause division. They got this movie coming out called Civil War, and I feel like this could lead to something like that, even though I feel like Trump not being elected as president is going to cause a lot of riots and a lot of things like that to take place. I would feel like it's all set up that way anyway, to cause people, to be divided, because Trump, he's used to put on this image that he's for the people, what I'm saying? Like he's standing up for the people, and he's going against the government, what I'm saying? He's playing this opposition role. I feel like he's just set up, he's a puppet, to bring in a sense of opposition, like he's for the people. And I feel like if he doesn't get elected, and you got all these people that's riding with him because they're all for freedom, I feel like if he doesn't get elected, then that's going to cause a lot of division. That's going to cause a lot of riots and things like that that's going to take place over here in America. You know what I'm saying? But, we're going to see what happens. But now if Trump gets elected as president, he says that he's not going to push the whole digital currency thing, but he's not going to have a choice, man, because this is what the elites want. And the elites, they are over him. Basically what they say go, they can change laws, they can change policies, whenever they want to, because they basically run everything, especially over here in America. So Trump, man, he's just set up, for whatever they want to use him for, whether he know that or not. You know what I'm saying? So even if Trump is saying that he's against digital currency, if he does so happens to become president, he's just going to fall in line. He's going to, he's going to continue with their plans anyway. You know what I'm saying? Because he's just he's set up. He's just a puppet at the end of the day. But it says former president and front runner in the Republican leadership race, Donald Trump, has promised to ban the creation of central bank digital currency during a campaign stop in New Hampshire. And he says, as your president, I would never allow the creation of a central bank digital currency, Trump said on stage, joined by crypto-friendly former candidate Vivek, who recently suspended his campaign. And it says, this would be a dangerous threat to freedom, and I will stop it from coming to America. He continued, such a currency will give a federal government absolute control over your money. They could take your money and you wouldn't even know that it was gone. And that's true. You know, this digital currency system is going to be basically you giving complete control of your assets, everything that you own, your money and everything, basically in the government hands. You're basically giving them complete control over everything that you own, you know. And when you do that, anything that you do that's against them or that don't align with what they believe or what they say, you know, then they can take things from you. They can fine you. You know, they can freeze your account. They can deduct money from you, you know, without you even knowing about it. You know what I'm saying? So they're basically going to have, they're going to be able to do whatever they want with you once they have this digital system in place the way that they want it, you know? And Trump, he's saying that if he gets elected as president again, but you know how these runner-ups for, you know, being a president are, they make false promises, you know what I'm saying? They say a bunch of shit that they basically renege on later, you know? They say a whole bunch of shit, and then once they become president, they either don't do it or they do it anyway. So Trump, he's making all of these promises, you know, giving all this hope about how he's not going to follow the plans of the elites if he gets elected as president, but he's going to do them anyway, or he's not going to become president, man. It's either play ball how they want you to play ball, or you're not going to play at all. You know what I'm saying? So you got a lot of Americans and a lot of, you know, people that's relying on Trump, you know, like he's the savior of America or something like that, you know, and a lot of people are going to be on his side, but something I believe is going to happen to where he doesn't become president again. And a lot of people are going to feel some type of way about that because, you know, they're all about freedom. And Trump, he's set up to, you know, represent the people, you know, to look like he represent the people, you know what I'm saying, to look like he's in opposition with the agenda of these elites. And I feel like if Trump is not elected, then a lot of people are going to react in a very chaotic way. You know what I'm saying? And this might be the reason that Trump is saying all these things, to get people's hopes up, so that if something happened, a lot of people are going to react around the world in a very bad way, you know, in a very chaotic sense, you know. But we'll see what happens, man. But it says CBDCs are digital versions or tokenized versions of cash that are issued and regulated by central banks that may or may not use blockchain as an underlying technology. And it says, damn, this ad is in the way. Let me try to refresh it so I can, let me go back to this real quick. Let me refresh it real quick. It says Trump, once a critic of crypto, owned over $2.5 million in Ether, according to August 2023 disclosure. And Ether, that's kind of like Bitcoin. I guess it's like a different digital currency. It says, while there's currently no proposal from the Federal Reserve to introduce a CBDC, this hasn't stopped it from becoming a hot issue in the U.S. politics, particularly on the campaign trail. You know, and this is Donald Trump speaking about it. You know, I guess if he becomes president, how he's not going to allow it to happen. So let's play this real quick.
Tonight, I'm also making another promise to protect Americans from government tyranny. As your president, I will never allow the creation of a central bank digital currency. Do you know about that? I didn't know you know so much. I'm very, well, New Hampshire, very smart people. Very current. You know what they're doing. Such a currency would give a federal government, our federal government, the absolute control over your money. They could take your money, you wouldn't even know it was gone. This would be a dangerous threat to freedom, and I will stop it from coming to.
Just a whole bunch of lies, Trump. Trump just letting out a bunch of bullshit just so he can get elected again. You know, he said, I was surprised that you people knew about it, basically. He said, y'all not that stupid as I thought you were. Y'all kind of know something. You know, because a lot of people don't really know about this digital currency thing. You know what I'm saying? You got a few people out there that actually, you know, stay on top of what the government is basically up to or what they're doing. But most of these people, they just go to work, you know what I'm saying? They eat, look at entertainment, and, you know, they do it all over again the next day, you know? But Trump said, I'm surprised that you people know anything about. He was surprised that those people knew anything about digital currency, man. And even if they do know about it, they don't know the severity of what the government can do once you are in that system, you know? But it says CBDCs have emerged as one of the hottest issues for Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, generating more public interest than the usual wedge issues of gun rights and abortion. If CBDCs are the encroachment on our civil liberties that the majority of people believe they are, we don't have time to wait. Samuel of the Florida Blockchain Business Association said at the time, at the end of the day, if the feds want something, they're going to try to get it. So it's our job to try and stop it. And this is what's going to cause a lot of civil war type behavior in the very near future, man. You know what I'm saying? This is what's going to cause a lot of civil war type behavior in the near future. You know, and I feel like Trump making these promises to these people to get them to basically be on his side, you know, all these freedom-loving and liberty-loving people, you know, which is against, you know, the government basically having complete control over them, because that's basically what Trump is trying to represent himself as. I feel like a lot of people are going to riot, you know, and be with him, you know, for that very reason, you know. And I feel like if he doesn't, something happens to the point where he doesn't become president, he doesn't get elected, that's going to cause a lot of chaos for the people that was riding for him, because people are all about their freedoms, man. You know, and if someone else gets elected and they're all for digital currency and things like that, that's going to cause a lot of tension and a lot of division over here in America, you know. And that's the point that I was trying to make. But let me go into this real quick. Just a second. Ezra 15. And I start at 14. It says, woe to the world and them that dwell therein. And it said, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. So this is talking about, you know, what you would call civil war or division, or people, you know, turning on each other. You know what I'm saying? It says, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. So that's two, you know, it's describing different groups of people fighting against each other. You know, one people shall stand up to fight against another, you know. And it says, this is 16, it says, for there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another, they shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. So these people out here, they're going to say basically, fuck the government, you know, fuck Donald Trump, fuck these politicians and these people that's supposed to represent, you know, them, you know, these people that's claiming that they're trying to look out for their betterment. These average people out here, they're going to be like, fuck them, man. They're going to turn on them. That's why it says they shall not regard their kings nor their princes. So these people that stand in power, you know, they're supposed to represent America and things like that, like the president, the mayor, and all of them. People are not going to listen to them anymore, man. They're going to take power in their own hands. That's why it says, in the course of their actions shall stand in their power. You know what I'm saying? So the time is coming where it's going to be sedition among men. It's going to be a lot of division. You know, and the scriptures say in invading one another. You know, it's going to be a lot of crime. It's going to be a lot of riots. It's going to be a lot of chaotic events that's going to be taking place in America. And I feel like a lot of these things are going to get heated, you know, during these next election moments, you know, events that's finna come up. You know, I feel like a lot of this is going to take place then. But which, you know, we're going to see what happens, you know. But, you know, this wasn't meant to be nothing long. You know what I'm just saying? I just felt like touching on this because I feel like this is going to lead to a lot of division over here in America. You know what I'm saying? So With that being said, man, I'm going to go ahead and give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Rakakadash, double honor to the apostles and elders at Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the whole Follett. Shalom.